Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean and we are at Island Center right now for Martin Luther King Jr.'s festivities, and this is probably one of the biggest parades we've seen turn out in the territory. In tonight's top stories, we turn to St. Thomas, where News Channel 8's Lee Carl looks into a fire that ravaged several businesses.
A resource center, apparently we're watching right now behind the USO building. Just behind the USO, where an elderly old building, a government building, is on fire. They're working on it right now, cutting through the steel of one of those gates there, as you can see. Now, I understand this building was human resources, but before that was flea market and I guess part of the Red Cross. So that is the situation right now. I'm going to try and talk to...
So far, Lee, I just arrived on the scene. I haven't been briefed as yet, but I'm trying to get updated as to what's going on. I can see it so far. It's an old USO building that seems to have a lot of stuff in there, material, combustible material, and it's an old pitch point roof. You know, it's in between several buildings, and it's nestled really close to other buildings, so it's difficult to get to. We're trying to save the other building, but we look like we have a few, some of them that was scorched and so forth. We're trying to make sure that the fire doesn't spread to those buildings and create any further damage.
You were just talking to somebody further down, because it's burning here, but it seems to be down. Further down is pretty heavy.
Well, the fire is traveling from the south to the north, and we're trying to cut it off right now. We're having a difficult time because of how the buildings are situated. It's such a small, tight space. But the guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 firefighters overcome by smoke.
Well, no one has been overcome by smoke. They're just a little exhausted right now. Okay. So we're taking precautionary measures to let them take a break and get some oxygen. All right. Thank you, Lee.
That piece of fire right here, underneath the eaves of the corrugated, is flaring up. While they did have some control of it, now another section up here, right here, is beginning to flare up. This is an old building that once housed the Red Cross, blood bank, flea market, a number of others. It's one of the very old buildings. And what's burning up there, underneath that corrugated, is big pine. There's no doubt about it. One of the officers in charge at this time can't say anything because he's trying to get the power turned off in this area. Now they're beginning to spray that area up there I mentioned before. You can see the hose now trying to put out those flames underneath the eaves of the building itself, the corrugated. Little flame right there in that building. In St. Thomas, just behind the USO, a government building on fire. Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee. And staying on St. Thomas, there is a missing teenager in the St. Thomas-St. John district. News Channel 8's Lee Carl gives us the report.
The 16-year-old St. John youth has been missing since December 31st. Residents of all 3 Virgin Islands have been asked to keep an eye out for him. Is Damius Abraham. He's 16, reported missing by his mother, who said he's a runaway. Abraham last seen Wednesday, December 31st. Police at this time don't believe the minor is in danger, but Abraham lives on St. John but visits St. Thomas frequently.
Damius Abraham is 6 feet tall. He was reported missing January 15th. Anyone who has any information, call Detective Kent Hodge at 693-8880, extension 5213, or the police emergency at 911. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Stay with us on News Channel 8 for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We'll have more of that after the break.